Hello. It is 8:36. Sorry, that was like a weird intro. Um so a lot of my day got eaten up by or sorry, it's 8:36 p.m. I probably should specify. Um so the good news, my phone, I figured it all out. Basically, bro, this is crazy. Basically, my sister's address had my number attached to it because I used to live there a long time ago. And because of that, for some reason, my phone was attached to her account. I couldn't do anything to the account. I wouldn't want to, but like, obviously, I couldn't like access it or do anything. But my phone was attached as a secondary thing. Um, and my primary account for Comcast, it was the phone was deleted from it. So it had a random 5555555. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, how did this happen? Um, Also, apparently, Comcast just has four different accounts because I moved four different times. So when I pop up the current account in the current address, um, it was all broken because it had my information, but um, the information was like not even the correct information, and it had some random email associated with it, and I couldn't verify it, and so I went through like a 3 hour conversation with different people to help. Luckily, I got actual people, but I had AI the first time, and I got confirmation from one of the first lady that I talked to. I was talking to her, and I was like, I don't like, I don't want to say that this person was AI, but they felt like they were AI. Like they weren't like really understanding what I was saying, and the way they responded was very AI. And she's like, "Oh, you're not the only one who's thought that." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like they actually are probably rolling out this fake um person and trying to pass it as AI to see what people would do, and they're testing it. That's what I think is happening. Um, so so I was like, okay, cool. She was very helpful. To be fair, all three people were very helpful, but she was helpful. She got me to the tech support people because she couldn't access the account because I had to have everything verified first on the email, and then she could send me a message. But because it wasn't verified, because it was just a BS email, I couldn't verify it. So I had to go through their technical division. And I was working with them. He was very helpful. I spent like an hour and a half with him as we kind of worked together to figure out how to unfuck everything. Um, so yeah, so I did that and got everything fixed. So that's the good news. Also, secondary good news: the I got my phone unlocked. Um, Apparently, it was locked, which is really weird. Um, so I got that taken care of, and so now I can add an eSIM card. The bad news is, so I bought an eSIM card, and they gave me a QR code to like scan to add to my phone. The moment I tried to add it, it immediately was like, we sent to your old uh like number of verification code that you need in order to scan it. I'm like, what do you mean an old verification code for the number? Like, how can I do that if I never had a phone internationally? Like, how does this work? This doesn't make any sense at all. So, I'm gonna have to figure that out tomorrow. I'm gonna see if maybe the roommate can help me figure that out. Um, we also did some troubleshooting on, you know how I did the like ancestry stuff. It's not specifically ancestry, but it's an ancestry equivalent. Um, basically, my the the roommate was like, oh, maybe you could potentially get like dual citizenship, like here and then back in the US. Now, they did a lot of regulations to like reduce the amount of people doing this because apparently people were like doing like 10 generations back ancestry. And so they're currently doing legislation to like change that. So it's very possible that I don't that I might not even be able to do it, because it would be my it'd be my great grandfather on my father's side. Um, but like the idea of potentially getting like dual citizenship would be awesome. So I'm just looking into it. Uh, apparently there are services that can help like dig up all the records. There's like a whole like host of documentation you need. And there's something called like unbroken line where if my great grandfather had birth to the daughter who then had birth to the son, if the great if the grandmother um was born before the great grandfather got citizenship, if he got citizenship in the US, which we don't know, but if he got citizenship, then basically it would be considered a broken line if it was before, but if it was after she was born, then technically she would still be counted as someone with the potential like unbroken line. Um, and at that point, then it would go, and I could like technically apply. Now, it is also possible that due to the new regulations back in 2025, and they're still like ongoing working on it, that could totally change, and it could just be cut off at um, like father or grandfather or grandmother or mother. Um, so that would be like potentially one line too long. So I don't know. Anyway, it's just a side thought. It's good to know that that's even a potential possibility. Like everything else, it's like, oh, I didn't know I could get the. Oh, right. I also did the car thing today. Um, I scanned all my documents, and basically, I'll be getting in the mail. I think on like the 5th, or the 5th is when it gets sent here. But potentially in like, I don't know, like 2 weeks, I could potentially see the international driver's license. And getting that would be a big deal because that means I applied for every country that I want to go to. I basically, I don't have it here. It's like in my backpack somewhere, but I have this from the tarot person. She gave me a little map with a little triangle slot, um, where anywhere in there is like good. I should go there. Um, so so yeah, I'm just using that as my base of what places I'm going to go to and see. Um, which sounds silly, but you know what? I think there's some reason as to why it's that way. So I'm going to do it. But yeah, so I did that. I did the Comcast thing. I have an eSIM. I just can't access it right now. So it's kind of up in the air. So I'll get it figured out tomorrow. Um, then I took a shower first, which, by the way, so the shower worked fine. It's one of those things where you just need to learn the little like technique for the shower, just like everything else. That first time with the cold shower, that was just like apparently there's like a heat thing where you have to like turn it on at full power and then let it happen, and if it's cold you turn it off and then turn it back on at full power, and it's a whole thing. So um but anyway, the curtains, because they're so close together, um the curtains are like they just like are hugging me like half of the time when I'm trying to take the shower. And so uh I'm like, oh wow, the shower is very loving, trying to give me hugs as I'm trying to take a shower. And so it's like I just thought it was like funny. But yeah, shower went fine. And then I ended up going out to get dinner and to try out the grocery store that's a little bit further away. So I went down there. There's like this big street where people just walk into traffic and then the traffic stops. I don't fully understand. I I just waited until someone else started walking and then I walked with them. Um, but yeah, so I went there. They have a lot of really great fruit. None of it has like for an example, the apples in the U.S. are basically all they have like waxed on it, um, and none of the apples had wax on it. I was very happy about that because I hate the fact that apples have wax on it. Um, Everything, all the fruit and veggies and everything looked really good. I don't know. They looked like organic veggies that you would get at like a local farmer's market, which is like perfect. That's what I want. So so yeah, that was a pleasant surprise. The only kind of issue I had, I didn't do self pay because I don't think I would be able to do the full machine. I wouldn't understand what the machine's asking. I probably could fumble my way through it and then be fine, but I just waited in line. I figured like it wouldn't be a big deal. So I got them all scanned, and then basically the guy. I mean, I could tell the guy who was doing the scanning. He was already kind of in like a not great mood. I think he was just really hot and he just wanted to leave. But he he said something. I didn't know what he said. I think he was talking about an apple. I just kind of looked at him like I don't fucking know what you're talking about. So I think he got the gist of it and just figured it out. But then there was two card readers, And I'm like, what? Why is there two card readers? I don't know why there's two card readers. So I remembered that the woman used the one on the right. So I'm like, oh, I must be the one on the right. So I looked to see if it had a little tap thing, and it didn't. So I just stuck it in. And then he's like, oh, take it out, take it out. At least I think that's what he said. He did this and pointed at me, and so I took it out, and then I put it back in after he did the do thing. And then he's like, let me see it, which I think again he was like, let me see it. And so I hand it to him, and he goes, and then he like scans the other one. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the classic, like, the 50-50 choice was just wrong. Now I know that the credit card is on the left side. And, I don't know if it's just everything is treated as a credit card or what. Maybe they have some sort of special, like, food thing or whatever, food card. I'm not sure why they have two little scanners, but yeah, everything worked out really well. Aside from that, and I bagged all my stuff up real quick, and then I left, and then I got food. I got two sandwiches this time, and then they were like, "Oh, by the way, we can like give you like a bread thing." It was good. It was like it had like cheese in the middle, and it was like around the outside was oh god, what are those little tiny white seeds? Um, just spacing on the name. Sesame seeds. There we go. Uh, so it had like a sesame seeds on the outside. It was a very faintest amount of like maybe some sugar on the edges. Um, but it was like you could barely tell that there was anything like that. It was very good though. So, and I'm not sure what it's called. I forgot, but it's good. And then I got one of the sandwiches that was like a tuna, or not tuna, salmon, and then the other one was like it had a few different like meat cuts on it. That was really good. So I think it was like sandwich meat of different kinds. But anyway, it was good. It was tasty. And then and then I came back, and it was like, oh wow, it's 7:30 or 8 o'clock or whatever. Ate my food, and yeah, that was it. Uh, oh, I did find out about like filming. Um, if it's in a really crowded spot, trying to be like reasonable about the filming when you're in a really crowded location. But if you're just kind of walking around with a selfie stick, it's not going to be a big deal, especially if it's in like, a not so crowded area. Um, so I'm going to do a little walking and just see the sights a little bit. I don't really know if I'm going to do the full selfie stick thing or if I'm just going to like take the camera out and just start talking while I walk. Maybe I'll point it forward, or I could just point it at me. I don't know. I want to be like less intrusive if I can be, because yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just me being self conscious. I'm not sure, but regardless, that was day one of 100 degrees, I think. Let's see. Okay, apparently. Wait, was yesterday? Why does it say yesterday? Oh, okay, this is good. It looks like, yeah, yesterday was 100, so it got up to 100 yesterday. Today, um, it's going to be 96. Oh, it can get to 99. 2 p.m. Wait, what? Why is this? Oh, okay. It's showing me multiple days, so that's why it was confusing me. So right now it's 86, and then yeah, tomorrow it says it's supposed to be up to 99. Oh wait, what? Why is this so confusing? Now this is saying it can be up to 102 today. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna not worry about it. It's gonna be hot. I did struggle to fall asleep at an early hour. I went to bed at like 9:30, and I was just laying in bed trying to fall asleep for like 4 or 5 hours. I finally fell asleep at somewhere around like 3 to 4 in the morning. Um, and I woke up at 12. So, or no, I woke up at 11, I think. But oh, okay. I am tired. I am getting like my bearings. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. Um, so I I ended up booking an extra week here because I wanted to make sure that I was able to what's it called? I wanted to make sure that I had enough time to be able to just get everything done, get the international like license, have all that kind of sorted, which means that getting an extra week ensures I'll get it. So I ended up doing that. It's an extra like $300, and I was like, yeah, that's worth it. Um, so I'm really happy about that. This place, like honestly, this place is really good. I have no complaints. Um, Apparently, also, I found out that there is a push to stop the whole Airbnb stuff from being the mainstream way you do things because it's kind of cutting into the hotel motel business, and it also is like making the citizens angry because they lose potential places to rent in favor of all of these people turning their places into Airbnbs. So, so yeah, like I can totally understand that being a thing. I mean, that's literally happening in the U.S. as well. It's just that the U.S. doesn't care. So it's like, um, but anyway, and there's also all of the private, um, or the large corporations also just buying up all of these homes and then forcing everyone to rent it. So it's like that's another thing that they're doing, but that's neither here nor there. So um, I still haven't gotten a chance to talk to the other roommate. I think I don't know. I think she's just busy and she's got her own stuff going on. So like I don't want to bother her. Um, if it organically happens, it happens. Like I'm gonna be here for another 2.5 weeks or so. So I'm not in any rush to like figure stuff out. So um, but yeah, I think everything's been working out really well, And I think taking it a bit slow in the beginning here, getting my bearings, getting all of the stuff figured out. I realize I don't have a time like frame that I have to like hurry up and do stuff. So it's like, yeah, if I take an extra week here, okay, I take an extra week here, like whatever. So there's that, and then getting the phone figured out. Uh, Once I get the eSIM card done, um, it's gonna be huge because it gives me 10 or no, sorry, it gives me 30 gigs of data aside from talk and text. Talk and text is free, or unlimited, but like the data, 30 gigs of data is going to be nice because that'll allow for um me to go basically all over Europe and use the 30 gigs of data. Um, I think it's 30 gigs across all of Europe. Um, which means I won't have to sort my phone out when I go from to a different country later. And then the UK had this like extra thing that they had to do, um, where they had to verify that I had a passport, and then give me like a verified like visa thing. So yeah, I don't know. So I think everything is working out really well, and I don't know. I have no complaints. I'm just kind of living my life and seeing what happens. I will say the supermarket is very interesting, where all the food you have you have a little bread section. I say a little, it's pretty big. You have a bread section, um, you have the fruit section, and then they kind of have like a little bit of the like, deodorant, shampoo, paper towels, toilet paper, that kind of stuff. And they have a few other things. And then they have a section that is like the pasta section, which is really big. It's a really big section. Makes sense. Um, and then they have a whole cheese section, which is really big. And then they have a small little like frozen section that has like stuff that you probably it's like processed, so you probably don't want to like eat too much of it. But yeah, it's like the like snack aisle is like these very like non-colorful chip bags, and it very much was like it's almost like it was like subtly trying to dissuade you from buying chips. And I know that sounds weird, but it's like if you think about like, okay, yeah, it's near the end when you would like go line up. So they do have the like snacks in the like section where you would line up to go pay. But um, the fact that they're not all comically colored with all of these boisterous things to try and get you to like buy the thing, uh, it very much it didn't there was like, I'll have to say, it didn't feel as appealing. And I'm like, yeah, it makes sense because America's got it figured out when it comes to trying to get people to like lock eyes with a product. They got all the colors, they got little characters and all sorts of stuff to try and get you to buy a thing. So I was really glad that like it feels like getting fruits and vegetables and like eating healthy ish uh that takes more precedent in the store. So not saying the store doesn't want to sell things, but I think the fresh produce and all of that stuff, and yeah, it's good. So it's also it was also relatively cheap too, which is nice. So didn't feel like I was spending like $100 shopping. It was funny when I told the one roommate, when I told him about how much I was spending just to do like, now mind you, I don't know if you guys remember, um, but back when I was doing the very strict diet, I did all the research and I got like, effectively the best food I could really find to like hone in the diet. Um, it was like, I don't know, I want to say it had, what's the best way to describe it? I like lost my train of thought, but basically it was, like around $800 a month in that I mathed out if I just never ate out. Um, and he was just mind blown at that price. To be fair, I was mind blown when I realized how much it was because I just didn't realize how much everything kind of increased in price over the span of whatever. Um, so it's just interesting seeing all of the differences um, between here and the US. Now, I still love the US, obviously. Um, it's kind of one of those things of like, the more you know about the place you live in, the more little nitpicky things you get frustrated at. Just like how he had some grievances about like living in Italy, but he still loves living in Italy. So it's like you know, um, it's that kind of thing where the negative things start to stick out a lot more than the positive things until you go somewhere else, and then you're like, oh wow, this is so much better, or oh wow, this is so much worse, whatever the case may be, right? So I think that's one of the beauties of traveling. Um, Being able to see that the insular little section of the world that you live in doesn't necessarily dictate the whole, like how everything does their, how everyone like lives. And I kind of hope that more people have the ability to travel in the future. Um, it is nice that Europe is so easy to um, get from place to place because it really is just like going from state to state, really. Um, so yeah, I don't know, but okay. I guess that's it, really, on updates. In terms of the plan, I don't have necessarily any specific plan for the next couple days. I think mainly I'm just going to, I'll keep recording videos. I want to. There are some really cool places that the one person I was talking to, he mentioned some really cool places. So especially in like northern Italy and that stuff. Um, so I'm thinking I should probably go and do that at some point. It'll be after this like 3 weeks here, but yeah, and hopefully I'll be able to have a car and kind of do the car thing. Now, I I guess the main thing is making sure that I have all the paperwork in order, and also to like keep in the back of my head to like figure out um maybe a place that can be helping me figure out the paperwork for potentially doing the citizenship thing, because it's, I mean, why the hell wouldn't I want an extra citizenship if I could have one? There's no downside. So um not saying that I'd want to necessarily live here long term. I mean, it is nice. There's a lot of great things about this place. But and I'm talking about like here in general, like but like yeah, I don't know. I'll just see what happens. So I'm not thinking too hard about it right now. I'm just gonna enjoy each moment and yeah, work on the, I have my list of things that I want to kind of try and fit into the normal daily schedule. So I think that's what the next couple days are going to be, is getting a new normal for my daily routine. Figuring out like, okay, food wise, like um, you know, getting effectively making a salad in the morning with some fruit and then maybe some nuts, and then having an evening like takeout meal of some kind. I think that's kind of the way I'm going to do going forward, because I can just go to the one supermarket and just get a bag of greens, and the greens look really good. There's a lot of good greens there, so yeah, seems reasonable. So why not? I would like to have, I'm glad I didn't pack the bowl, but also like I kind of wish I had a bowl specifically. Um, so I'll think about that. But the one thing I kind of want to get is, I talked about that little sling to have like some of my personal items in, um, mainly for the plane and everything. And the little case that I have, the carrying case, is great. But if I could kind of squeeze the, like, make all of my packs a little less full by getting that little sling and then kind of cheating the sling in when I'm doing plane stuff, that would be cool. But, still being able to fit it all inside of the one backpack if worse came to worse. That's kind of the main important thing. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know the plan, but I think I still want to do the train at some point. Uh, if I don't know. Well, I'll just, that's future stuff, and I'm not going to worry about it too much. So I guess that's it. Nothing too crazy, but it's getting a lot of the little stuff taken care of so that I don't have to worry about it in the future. I'm really glad that the Comcast stuff is basically figured out. Um, my phone's unlocked, so I can add the SIM card as soon as I get the SIM card thing figured out. Um, so yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Have a good night, and I'll see you all tomorrow. again, I don't know when I'm gonna start doing the the like outside like vlogging stuff. I am gonna do it, but it may not be until next week. Uh, so like today's Thursday, tomorrow, like Friday, maybe Saturday I could do it. Although Saturday maybe we're gonna do like a movie thing. I don't know. Sunday could be a thing as well. Uh, for sure next week I'm gonna do some like sightseeing and if I can take pictures of like historical places or video, that would be cool. If not, like, you know, I'm not gonna like try to stress it. I think there's like actually like laws to where you have to get like special permission for some of the historical sites. So I'm probably not gonna do that. Um but I don't know. We'll we'll see. All right. Good night. Bye.